In this video, we're going to go through how to evaluate the sum, difference, product, and quotient of two functions using your calculator. Now you might be thinking, how in the world can you do that? And it's pretty simple. You're going to plug your f of x into the y1 spot, your g of x into the y2 spot, then in the y3, you're going to put in your y1 plus y2, and or minus or multiply or divide, and the vars is menus where we find that. So let's walk through it together. All right, so here we have our f of x, and that's going to go in our y1's place. Here we have our g of x, and that's going to go in our y2's place. So just to remind us what we're doing, we're evaluating for when x equals 2. So let's grab our calculators. Okay, so in the y1 spot, we're supposed to put our f of x, so square root of x. Then in the g of x's spot, we're going to put, or in the y2 spot is where we're going to put our g of x. So we're going to go ahead and put the square root of 9 minus x squared. Then in that y3 spot, that's where we're going to deal with our adding, subtracting, multiplying, and dividing. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to go to vars menu. Then we're going to go ahead. Then we're actually going to arrow over to the y vars menu and then hit enter on option 1 functions. And here's our y1. So we hit enter, and now we've got our y1. Oops, looks like I was not in the right spot. Let me just fix that really quick. So that should say square root of x, and we should be in the y3 spot. So we go to vars, y vars, function, enter, and I want to add that to my y2. So again, I'm going to go to vars, y vars, function, and I'm going to choose the y2 option this time. So here I have y1 plus y2. Now this is something that, in order to save time, we can actually put all of them in. So now we're going to go ahead and go to subtraction. So we'll put our y1 minus our y2. So again, vars, y vars, function, and then the y2. And then we'll multiply them. So vars, y vars, function, y1 times vars, y vars, function, and choose y2, and then y1, so vars, y vars, function, y1 divided by vars, y vars, function, the y2. So here we have that our y3 is the addition, y4 is our subtraction, y5 is our multiplication, and y6 is our division. So we can write that down so that we don't forget it. So y3 was y1 plus y2, y4 was the y1 minus the y2, y5 was our y1 times our y2, and y6 was our y1 divided by our y2. All right, so let's go ahead and go back to our calculators. And now we're just going to pull up the table. So go to table. And remember that we're evaluating at the number 2. So we're going to arrow down to the number 2. And we're going to go all the way over to our y3 value. Let's see if we can zoom in a little bit on that. So that we see for addition that we're about 3.65. So we can write that down. Then we can go over to y4 for our subtraction. And it tells us right here at the bottom, so negative 0.8218. So let's round that to a negative 0.82. Then we'll arrow over to y5 for our multiplication, which is 3.16. And then we will arrow over one more time for our division, which is 0.63. And so it's just that easy to be able to use your graphing calculator to evaluate. So I think the only thing that we're missing here is to go to the table. Go to the table to view. So you'll put in the f of x into your y1, the g of x into your y2, And then in the y3, y4, y5, and y6 spot, you can put in if you're going to be adding, subtracting, multiplying, or dividing those functions using your vars, yvars functions menu. Then you go to the table to view the values of those answers.